Hello everyone, I am Prabhu Bevin Marad, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, BLDCT, Vijaypur. In this video, I am going to discuss about the definition of the C token types, and explanation of C token types, the rules for identifier or variable declaration. Let us first understand what is meant by C tokens. What are C tokens? C tokens are the smallest individual elements of the C program which cannot be further divided. The C program acts as a building blocks of every C program. In every C program we can find all the C tokens. So they are keywords, identifiers, constants, strings, special symbols, and operators. So let us look at these different types of C tokens with examples. So let us consider a C program where it performs the addition of two numbers. So here we have taken three variables x, y and sum. In x we are storing 6, in y we are storing 6. After this we are performing addition operation. So let us identify what are the C tokens in this particular C program. See, let me consider this particular statement. So in this particular statement, if I divide this statement into a smallest individual units, say for example, I divide void word and main word and these parentheses. So these are nothing but C tokens. These are nothing but C tokens. And this flower bracket is a different types of the C token. And similarly, if I divide this whole statement into the smallest individual units which are further not divided, say I divide this semicolon, I separate this semicolon from this statement, and this word and this comma and this x. So all these are individual units of a C program, and these individual units we cannot further divide. So all these are nothing but we call it as a C tokens. So all these C tokens are belonging to different types. Okay, so let us look at this. See, in this particular program we have main as a token. So this is we call it as identifier, and these are called as, so we have used flower bracket, comma, all these are called as a delimiter tokens, and we have declared int here in the program. We have used int. The int is also a token. So this particular int token belonging to keyword, and we have used x, y, sum. So all these are the tokens. So these are called as identifier C tokens. So like this, when we look at this program is having a different C tokens. Okay, so a C token is nothing but a smallest individual unit of the C program. So we will collect all these tokens and we will construct a instruction. These instructions are used to build a program. So let us first understand what is meant by keyword. A keywords are defined, predefined, reserved words which are present in a C program compiler. So these keywords are having a predefined meaning in a compiler, and the keywords are part of syntax and they cannot be used as a identifier. So the keywords should not be used as a variable name. So these keywords are having its predefined meaning in a compiler, and those will be used for some specific purpose. So the table shows a list of the keywords which are present in a C program. So here we have a keyword int, long, register. So all these words are having a special meaning in a C program. So these words cannot be used as a identifier names. So these will be used for some special purpose, right? And the next C token is identifiers for the variables. So then what are identifiers? So the identifiers are a name given to the entities such as a variable, function or structure. So we can use a name for a variables, function names, structures, array names, etc. So any name which is given for the entities, so that is called as identifier for the variables. So the identifiers must be unique. So in a C program, we shouldn't use two identifier names as a same. So each identifier name must be different. And identifiers are created to give a unique name to a entity to identify it during a program execution. So let us look at few examples for identifiers and variables. See here we have taken an identifier name as a number, and every identifier will be having its value and will be having its type. So the type is nothing but a cast of the identifier. So here we have taken another identifier name as a sum, and pi we have taken, and average we have taken. So as soon as an identifier is created, a particular memory location will be allocated in a memory, and within that memory we can store the information. So identifier will be having its a type. So type is nothing but what type of the information we are going to insert in a memory location, right? So we have different rules. We have set of rules to construct a identifiers. So let us look at those rules one by one with a very good examples, right? So the first rule says the identifier must begin with either a single, either a character or a underscore symbol. So every identifier what we choose in a C program should begin with a character or underscore character. So if it is not beginning with character or underscore character, straight away that particular name will be invalid. So let us look at few examples which identifier names are valid and which are invalid. So here we have taken a variable name as a n1, n2, ans. So all these variables are started with a character. And in second example, so these variable names, length is started with underscore, breadth is started with underscore. So therefore all these variable names are valid. So at this side, the first identifier, that is n, 1n. So the first symbol, the first character is what here, digit. So therefore all these identifiers are invalid. And in second example, the length is started with a special symbol, hence it is invalid, and the second character is started with star. So all these variable names or identifier names are invalid because these identifier names doesn't start with underscore, either underscore or a character. Let us look at second and third criteria. So the identifier do not start with a digit or any other symbol except underscore. If underscore is there as a first character, then that identifier will be treated as a valid. And the keywords cannot be used as a identifier names. So let us take few examples. So here all these identifier names are valid. So every identifier has started with a character, right? And here we have used a identifier name as a keyword. So therefore all these identifier names are invalid. So the next criteria is identifiers are case sensitive. So there is a difference between uppercase and lowercase letters. So let us look at example. So here we have mentioned 4 identifier names, but the name of each identifier is same. But the character which are present in these names are same actually, but some identifier names are having uppercase letters, lowercase letters, and mix of uppercase and lowercase letters. So therefore this identifier is different than this one, and this identifier is different than this one, and all the identifiers are what here? Identical here. Okay, unique, right? So four different memory location will be constructed, though the name is same. So there is a difference between uppercase and lowercase letters for the identifiers. And underscore can be used to join two words as a single word. In case if we are using identifier name where it is having two different words which is separated with a space, then we must join that particular word with an underscore character, then it will be valid. Otherwise it is treated as a invalid. And only first 31 characters are significant in a C program. If we are taking an identifier name which is having 50 or 55 characters, then only first 31 characters are valid. Let us look at example. So here a valid identifier names where it is having two words but it is combined by using underscore character. But invalid examples, the identifier names are separated with a space. So therefore all these variable names are invalid, right? Let us identify which identifiers are valid and which identifiers are invalid with reason. So here the first one is a valid identifier because the identifier name is having only one character, and the first digit itself, the first character itself is what here? It's alphabet. So therefore it is valid. So it is valid. And here underscore is used. This is also valid. Underscore is used at the beginning of the identifier name. So this is also valid. Here this is also valid. And there is an underscore between two words, that is int min. See here the int is actually a keyword, but whatever the keywords which are there, all those words are written in a small letter, but here we have written it in a capital letter. So therefore there is a difference between this word and that word which is considered as a keyword, and this is invalid because the first character is a dollar sign. This is invalid, the first character is digit. So here hyphen is there, invalid, and there is a space between these two words, so therefore it is invalid, and this is also invalid because it is a keyword. Let us cross verify our findings. Yeah, it is exactly same. Okay, so this is a time to summarize. So in this video we have discussed about what are C tokens, and we have seen a different types of the C tokens. So a classification of the C tokens, that is keywords, identifier, constants, strings, special symbols and operations. And we have understood about what is meant by keywords and what are identifiers or the variables, and what are the rules must be followed during a declaration of the identifiers or variables. So in next video I will be discussing about what is meant by constants, strings, special symbols and operators. Thank you for watching this video.